everybody, it's Rebecca, Virginia, and today I'm going to share 6 last-minute Dollar Tree DIY Christmas gifts with you. The first DIY is a sock cupcake. Here's everything you need to make this DIY gift. I'm starting off this DIY by taking these really cute fuzzy gingerbread socks from the Dollar Tree and rolling them up. Now, we need something to keep the socks rolled up and held together, and a rubber band would have been perfect in this situation, but I didn't have one, so I took a piece of jute and wrapped it around the bottom of the socks. To create the cupcake part of this DIY, we're going to take cupcake liner. I ended up using 2 because one was just too flimsy, and then I placed the socks inside of the cupcake holder. Next, I took one of the clear loot bags from the Dollar Tree and placed the cupcake sock inside of that. And it would have looked just fine inside of that, but I really didn't like the 2 ends sticking out of the sides of it. So I ended up cutting a portion of the bag off so that it would be resized and just fit the sock cupcake a little bit better. Once that was done, I wrapped up the sock cupcake again and taped down the one part that was still poking out. Then I used a silver twist tie, which came with the loot bags, to tie off the top, and I did cut down the top of the loot bag to make it shorter and stand up a little bit more. Then, to add a bit more of an embellishment and to make it look more like a gift, I added a bow as well as a jingle bell to the sock cupcake. I made another sock cupcake with a different cozy sock from the Dollar Tree and used some red truck Christmas tree ribbon on that one. The second gift is a melting snowman hot chocolate jar. Here's the supplies you'll need to recreate it. I'm beginning this DIY with a craft bottle from the Dollar Tree. These look like mason jars, but they're plastic. Next, I am using a melted snowman printable that I found online. I'll link it below if you would like to use this exact printable as well. And all I'm doing is cutting it out into the shape of my lid and gluing it down. I've seen online that a lot of people are using white hot chocolate for this, so it looks more like a snowman, but I thought it was really hard to find that, so if I couldn't find it, I was thinking most people probably couldn't either, so I just used a packet of regular hot chocolate. After I poured the hot chocolate contents in the jar, it was time to begin adding the marshmallows. These are from the Dollar Tree. They're the Fireside brand, and they're delicious, by the way. You just fill the jar the entire way up with marshmallows until it creates 3 stacked on one another, so it starts to look like a snowman. I used an embossing tool to paint on my snowman's face. I just used regular acrylic paint since it's on the outside, not the inside of the jar where the food is. I added arms too because I thought it would be cute, and I just couldn't stop at just the face. To wrap up our hot chocolate snowman gift, I thought some ribbon would look really pretty, but I ended up going with jute. I just wrapped it around the lid a couple of times and then added a bow and tilted it to the side. And that's all you need to do to make your own melting snowman hot chocolate jar. The third DIY gift is a tree in a bottle necklace. Here's all you need to make it. To begin this DIY, we're going to cut off the gold base of our bottle brush tree so that it could fit in this tiny glass jar. Then I had some white ornament filler, so I put it down in the bottom of the jar, placed the tree in, and then added a little bit more ornament filler, and I used the tweezers to move the tree around a bit in the bottle. I found this icy blue baker's twine at the Dollar Tree, so I wrapped it around the top of our bottle. And I had one of these silver snowflake charms, which was pretty lucky. I just had it kind of lying around in my craft room, but you can use any charm that you have. And I slipped that onto the baker's twine, and then I frayed the edges a little bit. These picture hanging kits are at the Dollar Tree. You get the whole thing for $1. It's such a great deal, and I love the O-hooks that are in the picture hanging kit. So all that I did was twist it around a few times, and it went right through the cork in the bottle. And then I laced through my silver necklace chain. I love this DIY gift as a necklace, but you could also use it as an ornament or gift it as a charm for a keychain. The fourth DIY gifts are these popular yarn hats. Here's what you need to DIY your own. I'm beginning this DIY with a piece of cardstock measuring 6 inches in length and 1 1/16 inches in width. The reason I'm using cardstock instead of an old toilet paper roll like I've seen a lot of people use for this DIY is because the toilet paper roll is way too wide for the chocolate that we're going to be placing our yarn hat on. I measured out my yarn lengths to be 11 inches, but we do trim the top of this at the end, so as long as the yarn is long enough to loop through and not too short, the length of the yarn has some wiggle room. So to make our hats, grab your piece of yarn and fold it in half. One end will be open and one end will have a loop. Take the end with the loop and place it inside the cardstock circle we made, and bring the two ends up and place them through the loop and pull them tightly back through. Repeat this process with varying colors of yarn and create whatever pattern you want for your yarn hat. Once you have placed your yarn all the way around your cardstock circle, you're going to straighten out the yarn strands and grab all of them and push them inside the cardstock circle, and then straighten out the yarn strands again. To make the pom-pom for the hat, I'm taking a strand of yarn and tying it around the top, and then I'm tying it again in a loop because that's going to be our ornament hanger if the person chooses to use it as that after they have it on their chocolate or champagne bottle. Then I filled the inside with a cotton ball and trimmed off our pom-pom. To add a little bit more of an embellishment, I took these stickers from the Dollar Tree and added snowflakes onto the top of the hats. Then it was time to put the chocolate inside, and you can see the hat fit perfectly on that. And I also put it on a sparkling apple cider bottle, but it would look really cute on the champagne bottle as well. My fifth last-minute gift is a Rustic star candle. Here's what you need to recreate it. This candle holder from the Dollar Tree came with a really pretty ribbon and charm on it, but I'm going to be removing it and saving it for a future DIY. We're going to be covering the candle holder in scrapbooking paper, so I'm measuring out how long and wide my paper needs to be by wrapping it around the candle holder. Then, to add texture to the scrapbooking paper, I am taking a star hole punch and punching out stars along the top and bottom of the paper. Next, I took a bit of white paint and dry brushed it over where we cut out the stars so that the hole punches would stand out more. To add a rustic, cozy Christmas feel, I'm wrapping the top of the candle holder with jute and securing it in the back with a little bit of hot glue. To add color, I made a floral pick out of garland, holly berries, and a small pine cone, and I'm hot gluing that at an angle to the front of the candle holder. Lastly, I added a battery-operated candle, but the Dollar Tree has amazing smelling tea lights right now, so I highly suggest adding one of those to the candle holder if you plan on gifting this to a candle lover. This Noel sign is the last DIY gift in my video. Here's everything you need to make it. These beaded frames have been at the Dollar Tree for a while now, and I keep seeing them brought out for each season, so definitely pick one up because they're perfect for DIYs. I ended up taking some musical scrapbooking paper and cutting it out and just using a regular glue stick to glue it down onto our base. Instead of using my handwriting because it's not the best, and since I don't have a Cricut, I got these rub-on letters from the Dollar Tree, and I'm using them to write out Noel. They're really easy to use. You just take the backing off, place it down, rub it a little bit, and then gently remove. To hang the bells off the Noel sign, I hot glued some jute down and also made a jute bow. I used a bit of hot glue on top of the jingle bell to get it to hold onto the jute. Then I began adding some of my floral picks onto the Noel sign, but I quickly realized that it would have been a lot better if I had put this down before I put down the jute bow and the bells, so I just ended up peeling that off, adding the floral embellishments that I wanted, and then hot gluing it back on. I also realized that I didn't place Noel at the dead center of my frame, so to kind of offset that mistake, I took a wood star and stained it with water and some brown paint, and then I just hot glued it next to the Noel to kind of make everything look like it flowed together a little bit more. Thanks for watching my last minute Christmas gifts video. If you want to see more DIY videos, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. Until next time, keep searching, keep creating.